20 times the champions of it. And Bono's in and scores for Manchester United. On an Old Trafford hat-trick here, Mo Salah. Oh, yeah!
Hello everyone, welcome to Never United. He's a Liverpool fan, I'm a Man United fan, and that's kind of how this works. Your lot have finished.
Oh, come on, mate.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, bruv.
I disagree. I really do disagree.
How can you say that after just getting pumped 3-0?
All right.
It's done.
Whatever you want.
The title
No, not after 11 games. No, it's not. We've got a decent run of teams that we should be beating. It's 11 games into the season.
Point. Should be beaten.
Yeah, City isn't one of those teams that you expect. All right, Villa, Real Madrid.
Your lot were giving Arsenal a load of stick for getting a point against City.
Because of the way that they've been speaking. I don't think there's any
Liverpool
Liverpool fans.
Pretty good right now.
Yeah.
If you're a Liverpool fan, you'd have taken a point today.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Don't get me wrong, it was a don't get beat today. I really do, and I will die on this hill, I really think that scoreline flatters them.
I couldn't disagree more. They dominated you. They were better off the ball. They were better on the ball, more clinical, created more chances. You didn't even lay a glove on them.
Well, we did.
Well, let's get into that.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
It wasn't a goal.
It is.
Do you know what? When we were watching the game, you said to me that that's a goal. He wasn't in the line of sight, and I thought, nah, you just, blinkered here.
And there was a part of me at that point that was, please don't be in the line of sight, because I was desperate for that goal to go in or be given.
It should have been a goal.
There was, I don't know if we'll put the graphic up or not, you'll be able to see it. There's examples I've just shown you pre-recording of 3 goals in the last season or 2 that have all been given that have got a worse line of sight blocking than Robertson's. He moves out the way of the ball. Donnarumma dives. He's not impeded by him
Do you think
whatsoever.
If that goal goes in, the game changes?
Of course it does. I'm not saying we wouldn't have lost, because they were better than us today. Let's have that right. I'm not saying that we should have come away with a point or we should have. They were better than us. The commentary and the disparity that they were showing between Liverpool and Man City was not as clear cut as they were making. We were poor, fine. There were some disgraceful performances, Kanate being one of them. But as I said to you when we were watching it, tell me, other than Kanate heading it onto Haaland, the deflected goal, Doku, fine. But other than that, what did they do to deserve to beat us 3-0? Control the game, all that sort of stuff. That you don't win games with that. You said defended better. You don't win games with that. Their attacking force wasn't as... You've still got to score to win a game.
They scored 3 goals, you scored 0.
Yeah, and that happens in football.
It was a 3-0 game.
That happens in football. How many times?
They beat us 3-0 in the same sort of manner. It was very reminiscent where United just couldn't really get going. I mean, there was one really good save from Donnarumma in our game. But other than that, I couldn't argue with the fact that they beat us 3-0. I thought they were that much better than us. They were that much better than you. They were 3-0 better than you today. That is the performance of champions. That is the performance of a team that will not live up to the hype that they had last year.
I think it would be difficult to live up to that hype anyway. We want them to, and we expect them to. You said at the start of the
season you're going to win the league. You said it was going to be a breeze.
I still don't.
You still think you're going to win the league?
I still think we can win the league.
And it's over. For me, it was over at 1-0. At 0-0, I was still looking at it thinking, this is not a side that wins a league when I was watching Liverpool. And that's not me being biased. Like I said to you, a point would have been good for me, because I think United could have a little push, whether it's top 4, whether it's anything more, I don't know. We'll get into that after. But when I'm looking at the 2 teams, neither have started the season great. If you both draw there, it gives us a little bit of hope. I didn't want you to lose that game, but you deserve to. And City look like the ones that are going to challenge for a title.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that we didn't deserve that we deserve to lose. I agree with that. I'm not happy with the performance. My issue, once again, we're having to talk about referees and decisions and VAR.
They've been in your favour all season.
When?
Giving you 6-7 minutes added time when there was only 3 minutes of stoppages.
That we have sat and had lengthy discussions about the ball not being in play for a certain amount of time, and in all of those games they're in 50 minutes, 60 minutes. We can't be arguing that there shouldn't be.
Why are you the ones that are getting it then?
Everyone, there was 11 minutes today, 7 minutes today.
Yeah, because there were injuries.
This is what
justified.
I mean. But
you had 8 minutes against us, didn't you? Where on earth did they come from?
I was too pissed to remember.
It was. I mean, and I've seen it as well when. I think it was Brentford. It was Brentford, that Brentford game. At the end of the first half, the referee played an extra minute and a half, 2 minutes, which you then scored a goal from. Fortunately, you lost that game, but that was for you as well.
They change. The old adage is goals change games. That was right before half time. If that gets given, it's a different team talk. It might be a different setup come the second half. Gives you impetus, gives you belief, all those things. For then that to be ruled out, and they will know, and they'll go in at half time and see that is an absolute gut wrencher.
Yeah.
Once again, we deserve to lose the game today, but the hysteria that there will be from you and you lot is unjustified.
So rattled. How was Salah's performance today?
He's just miles off it, isn't he? He's miles off it.
It's got to be a bigger talking point that the best player from the league last season is so far off it. I don't mind if he has a bad game and it's just an individual performance. What really irks me is that there are several times in games at the moment where he has got better options and he's not choosing them, and that's something that is unacceptable, because then you're not just hindering yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're hindering the entire team. Florian Wirtz, I said to you before, Florian Wirtz must be absolutely gutted that he's having to play with Mohamed Salah at the moment. He won't pass to him. There was a chance where I think Wirtz and Szoboszlai were square and he goes for it. All right, it was a near miss. A, Salah of last season scores it. B, square it. Would it have made a difference? Probably not. But there's midweek against Real Madrid. I forgive him a little bit more because it was right in front of goal, but Wirtz was open. The 2 or 3 times this season already it's happened. And I understand you want to get a goal, and I understand your stat pad in and you want to get your team back into the game. Do the best for the team. And the other thing I'm really, really not happy with is, I'll back him, no problem. He's winning the league in your first season gives you ultimate time and leeway. And I've seen some Liverpool fans call him for his head off the back of the result. No. To have Alexander Isak and players like Rio and Gomoa, when you're chasing a game 2-0, then 3-0, and to decide that Joe Gomez is the player to bring on, you saw my head was on Mars. I lost interest. Because you said about pride and holding on to what you've got, and I've seen some people on Twitter and some of the lads in the group chat saying, but we were managing minutes, what's the point in going and getting another injury? And I get that, I do, but just don't bring any substitutions on. You know, was Connor Bradley, oh yeah, right, he might have been knackered, bring on a different type of player, go to a different system, do something. You can't bring on Joe. What? I said to you last week, he's been found out. And I'm not saying that he's not a good manager, but Arne Slot's been found out this season in the sense that when teams know how to play against him, they are effective and they're beating him. Last season, a lot of teams went there with the same mentality they might go into a lot of big games where maybe they'll play deep, pass from the back, keep it tight. When you start playing long, there were a few long balls up to Haaland in this game. Donnarumma went long quite a few times. And I think when you've got a special player like Doku was today, Liverpool find it hard to beat you and break you down. Villa didn't do that last week, and it was a big mistake from them. But this is not the last time this happens to Arne Slot this season. And the fact that he can't change it in game, and it had gone too far by that point. At half-time, there should have been 3 subs. There was 0. So he's got it wrong. And when I say he's been found out, his system's been found out. So now he's got to pivot. A lot of really good managers, the best managers, pivot. This is a test of his mettle. I remember Antonio Conte with Chelsea. First couple of games, they were really struggling. He pivoted, he changed to a back five. All of a sudden, back five was the new in thing. Chelsea started winning, won the league. This is where Arne Slot shows whether he is a top manager or just a good manager, or whether it was a fluke.
It wasn't a fluke. There was too much tinkering. I said to you during the game, if there's one manager that I trust, because Jurgen Klopp was very flat with substitutions. It was always like for like, 4-3-3. Left winger goes off, left winger comes on. Arne Slot has moved and he's shown that he can do it in difficult games, in easier games against low blocks and all that sort of stuff. The Ipswich game, first game of the season last season, his first game in charge, unbelievable amounts of pressure following Jurgen Klopp. He decided, I can see that Kwanzaa's not doing very well. I'll switch it out. I'll bring on a midfielder. I'll tinker with the forward line. Newcastle, when we beat them 3-2, he went gung-ho, which is an easy thing to do, but not many managers do that. Bring 4-5 attackers onto the pitch and go for it. He's done it in games, will continue to do it in games. I think that what a lot of people will forget, not necessarily including you, because I know that you know, but maybe it's a bad mentality from me, but you can get beat 3-0 at the Etihad in a season, and it doesn't ruin your season. Forest, a better measure of how Arne Slot is as a manager will be. I'm disgusted with the substitutions. Disgusted. A better test of how our season is and will be going will be against Sean Dyche, Nottingham Forest.
It's always next week.
No, but it's not. It's not, because I would also say that there was no reason for us to perform like that when we've just beaten Villa and Real Madrid. I understand if it was just Villa. The Real Madrid team, they were putting balls over the top. They were trying to get at us, and it was like we had a different animal in us. With Europe, maybe it's under the lights at Anfield. Maybe it's the crowd were unbelievable. We shouldn't need the Anfield crowd or an away following or any noise for the team to go out. And the other thing, lastly on it from me, you'll be happy to know, is I'm still so passionate that 11 football players on 200 to 300 grand a week are allowed to go and say, we're 3-0 down, let's do something a bit different. Don't be passing it back.
The responsibility has to be on the players on the pitch at that moment. So yeah, you're right.
Right. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, they may have instruction.
For me, you know, if Salah wants to be involved in these conversations, being the best winger the Premier League's ever seen, the best player in the world, the responsibility is on him to get his touch right. To get he's not playing with instinct. Last season he was playing with instinct. This season he's playing in his own head.
Decision making, mate.
So every player goes through a bad patch. I'm not saying that he can't, but if he wants to be in the conversations of the greatest the Premier League's ever seen, he can't afford to let this go on any longer, and he can't afford to let this season go on any longer like this, because I don't think he should be playing. I think there's a lot of moments he should have been taken off.
It's that live long enough to become the villain type scenario, and I don't want that for him.
You think he should have left?
To bits. No, I don't think he should have.
I got a question for you. As a Liverpool fan, does Mo Salah, if his career finished today, does Mo Salah get into the following best front threes of all time? I'm going to start you off. Man United, Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo.
Yeah. Better than Tevez.
Does he get?
He is, mate. Come on.
Does he get into Barca, Messi, Neymar, Suarez?
That's tougher, but I would rather you keep it to Premier League because it's so hard to...
Does he get in?
Prime Neymar,
Don't
Suarez,
dare.
Messi? No, well, no, probably not, no.
Does he get into PSG's Mbappe, Neymar, Messi?
Yeah, because they didn't really do anything, did they? As a three, they did.
He plays over Messi.
Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. He gets in over Neymar at PSG.
Unbelievable. And finally, Madrid, Bale, Ronaldo, Benzema.
No.
Doesn't get in?
Maybe not, no. I'd find it harder to make a case for him for that than I would for the PSG one.
I think the conversation will be had at the end of the season. Did we go a little bit too far?
Maybe. I don't think so. You can't.
His season was incredible. His seasons have been amazing. He's been a brilliant player. When people talk about overrated, you know, a lot of people talk about a player that's shit, that, isn't as good as people say. I also see overrated as someone's putting them up there when they're here. They might be up there, but they're not there. And the conversation Salah has been in is the greatest right winger in Premier League history. He is not in the top 3 for me.
No, it's bollocks. It's bollocks. I don't care. You need to take away the eyeball of Mo Salah. What do you want from a forward? You want goals and assists.
Someone to get me off my seat.
Why? So you're telling me you would rather have Alan St. Maximin than Mohamed Salah? Because St. Maximin would get you off your seat. Yakuba Minter will get you off your seat more than Mohamed Salah. Is he going to get you 250 goals?
Ronaldo will get me the goals and get me off the seat.
Right.
So I'm looking for a player that will do both.
But why?
I'd rather a player excite me and get 25 goals in a season than a player that bores the life out of me and gets 30.
First of all, Mohamed Salah does not bore the life out of anyone. Some of the goals he scored over the last 10 years. And also, the fact that he plays for Liverpool will be why he doesn't get you out of your seat. Can you imagine if he's scoring 250 goals for Man United? You're telling me that you wouldn't be rating him as one of the best right wingers in the Premier League history? No chance.
He's up there. He's not better than Ronaldo. And I think that conversation died this year.
Maybe not, but we're talking Premier League. All right, you could say if you extrapolated the data of Ronaldo, and I'm happy to admit,
won a Ballon d'Or in the Premier League.
Fine, but he then moved. Right,
you won everything.
Cool. Mohamed Salah's won everything. Right, it's the fact that Ronaldo moved. If he'd have stayed in the Premier League and he'd got 200 plus goals and X amount of assists,
which he would have.
Right, but he didn't. So we're talking Premier League. If you say to me who's a better footballer in the world, Ronaldo or Salah, it's clearly Cristiano Ronaldo. In the Premier League, which is the argument we're having, he hasn't got the stats and the longevity.
But I think the stats are different now. The stats are only relevant now because players these days are judged on their numbers. We talked 10, 15 years ago. Those players weren't judged on their numbers. Yes, they were important, but it was more about the visual, the eye test. Could a player win you a game by himself? Sometimes players win you games without even scoring.
Salah can drop a 4 out of 10 performance and win us a game, and he has.
Yeah, that's valid.
You know, I really do think that I understand it.
I don't think he's overrated.
He's not the prettiest player. He can be, but he's not consistently. Every now and then he'll dazzle you. The City goal, the Watford goal, the Norwich goals, where he's jinking in between defenders and banging one in the top corner. Yeah, right. He'll score those goals, but it's not every week. But the sheer numbers for a right winger, and for a long period in that Premier League, he was a right winger. We're not talking inverted forward. We're not talking plays in the 10 every now and then. Yeah, all right, he takes penalties, doesn't take free kicks. A lot of his goals are brilliant goals. However, getting back to sort of your original point, the decisions that he made in those years were instinctive, first time. The killer pass would be pinpoint. Today, there was
his
one
passing's off it. His passing's way off,
and he's almost like he's trying too hard. I will never get on his back. The things he's done for this club are unbelievable. Right? I won't get on his back. What I will say is, just don't play him.
I've got a really difficult question for you to answer.
Probably
and
not.
I want you to answer honestly. Take your Liverpool hat off. If you had the opportunity to go back in time to the start of the season, knowing what you know now, would you let Salah go and sign Mbeumo?
I was about, in fact, just preface this, I was about to say, although it didn't go crazy, our views on YouTube and TikTok, there was enough people calling me mental that I said that Mbeumo is having a better season right now than Salah.
You were right.
You watch that game today and watch Mbeumo yesterday, right? I know it doesn't go off one game. I don't see how I'm wrong. And I guarantee you there'll be more Liverpool fans tonight questioning Mohamed Salah.
It's only the
I don't
people
want
who
him
are so blinded they couldn't say anything bad about Liverpool.
And because of how good he's been, yeah, that's great. We talked about current form. That guy, he is not in form.
So if you're going into the start of the season, would you swap players?
It's a loaded question, mate. If I want performances right now, yes, but there's still a bigger chance. There's a bigger chance of Salah turning it around and getting 15, 20 Premier League goals than there is of him continuing the entire season like he is. Right? It's a loaded question. If you want me to say, would I have preferred Mbeumo for the last 11 games? Of course I would. But I do believe form is temporary, class is permanent. I do believe that. I do believe that it's less likely to happen because of his age and everything that the club have gone through in the summer and the fact that he's lost a yard of pace and all that sort of stuff. But I still believe that with the break, with a different mentality, the international breaks come at a great time for us. I know a lot of people say you never want to go off on the back of a defeat, which is absolutely right. Those lot need a mental break. And it worked. That Crystal Palace, where they were all on the bench, they were all made to watch from the bench, watch us lose. We go and beat Villa and Real Madrid.
Last time there was an international break, you came back and got beat by us.
Yeah, and it doesn't always work, but we need the break now.
I'll give you a break. We'll stop talking about Liverpool. Let's turn
Thanks for listening, guys.
our heads towards Manchester United.
Yeah.
At the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult game. I thought we came through it to a certain extent quite well. I felt like we deserved the win, and I don't think we played well. Are we seeing signs that Man United could push for a title this season?
Maybe, but I think when we talk about blinkers, that was the single-handed worst 45 minutes from a team as a team this season that I've watched. That Tottenham first half. No, that Tottenham first half. They were dreadful. In fact, up to the 60th, 70th minute.
Chelsea, they were poor as well.
Yeah, true. But they were dreadful. Decision making in commentary, the amount of times they said, look at the options that they've got. People breaking through midfield. No one there. No options. Pedro Porro was just lumping balls in when there was no one there. There was no coherence. There was no... The fans right on their back. Booing again. From a Liverpool bias perspective, I cannot believe you haven't beaten them. I can't believe it. They were there for the taking.
Brought Dallo on and conceded 2 goals.
Which is where I know I'm not trying to get back at you because you've understandably gone at me. I'm not trying to do that. I cannot, but I thought it was a really poor result. And I thought I was gutted when you scored late because the narrative from me would have been you were back a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and you've just lost to a piss poor Tottenham side because they didn't deserve to win that.
A piss poor Tottenham side are above you in the table.
Fairs, but we haven't played as badly as they did in that first half.
Brentford was poor. You can only beat what's in front of you.
Hold on, I got shit for saying that about Villa.
That's why I'm
last
using
week.
it against you. I think I'm vindicated in the sense that at the start of the season, I said United should be pushing for a title. I said that United's transfer window was better than Liverpool's. And everything that I said, I was called crazy for. I feel vindicated so far this season in saying that Cunha was a great signing and Burmo's a great signing. The goalkeeper's a good signing, but then he
surprised me. He kept you in the game. It could have been
worse.
One
save was outrageous.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, and so I think when I looked at the transfer window, I know Liverpool splashed a lot of cash, but you were spending money on players like Frimpong and like Ekitike.
Unknowns.
And Florian Wirtz, that they're unknown quantities. We didn't know how well they would do. The reason I said United's was the best transfer window is because we were buying players from the league that had performed last season to an elite level. They were almost, not guarantees because you never guarantee it, but they were almost guaranteed to come in and start performing, and they got the right mentality. When I said that Liverpool had maybe signed players that we didn't know about, I think I'm vindicated in saying that. How can you know that Florian Wirtz is a £100 million player until you see him in the Premier League? It was a risk, and I don't think that risk's paid off. United haven't taken risks. United have bought the right players at the right time in the right positions. And I think that's showing. I've got no problem with Sesko. absolutely no problem. And the way that Gary Neville, the way that commentators are talking about him, I don't believe there's not an agenda there. Something's not right, because talking about Sesko in the way that they are, saying that he's not got going and stuff like that, his touches are really good. He wins a lot in the air.
A lot of money for touches.
He scored a couple of goals. I don't see why he's getting such a hard time. He should have scored the goal when he came on, but he wasn't fresh. He's come on, he's under the lights, and all of a sudden he's through 1-on-1. I can forgive him to a certain extent for that, and I don't think he expected someone of Van de Ven's ability to be right on his back.
Which was an unbelievable challenge.
Unbelievable challenge. I think he should have scored, and I want to see him score that. But he's 22. I'll give him that time. I don't think he's been a bad signing. I think he's a good signing.
All right, let me spin it on you. First of all, how much was Sesko?
70-something million.
Is that in Verts terms, or is that flat rate with add-ons?
I would say nobody knows the true value of any player at the moment, because nobody knows the full extent of a contract.
So 77 million. Right. Scored a couple of goals.
70-something million. I don't know.
Scored a couple of goals. Great.
2 million Verts.
Okay, that's my point. He's a central striker. Not playing off the left or in a 10 or whatever.
Ekitike has only scored one more than him in the Premier League. Bear in mind.
Okay. Has Sesko, talk about eye tests, talk about contribution, right? Has he done more than Florian Wirtz this season? Because he hasn't. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, he has.
Distance covered, no. No, right.
100 million for distance covered.
But this is my point.
Yeah,
you said 77 million for a few good touches.
He's got an assist. He's got more assists than Florian Wirtz has this season.
Okay, and how many times have I said it is not Florian Wirtz's fault? It's not. Chances created, top in the Champions League, up until a couple of weeks ago was top in the Premier League. Chances created, huge XG expected assists, XA, huge expected. Our forwards haven't been finishing them off. You look with someone that's clinical.
You're going to die on this hill.
You know.
And I think you'll regret it.
No. You can see, you just have to know, and I know you do. You just have to understand football to understand he's a brilliant player. All right, it didn't work out again at City. He was weak. He should have been quicker on the ball. He hasn't got that much time. There's a couple of times he got dispossessed.
Up to the pace of it.
Maybe he's not, but that ceiling is there for him, or isn't there for him to adjust to that and go there. I don't think
his ceiling's there.
There isn't a ceiling.
I think the ceiling for Florian Wirtz is something he's already reached, and I don't think that works in the Premier League to the same extent it's worked in
He's too much of a quality player to not figure it out. He's not just good, he's quality.
I'll tell you, he's a good player. I watch him. He's good on the ball. He's got a great first touch, can carry the ball, he can spot a pass. In the Premier League, you need an edge, and he hasn't got that edge.
But I
don't think he's got the mentality to come through it.
I can't believe we're having these write-off conversations about everything, titles, players, after 11 games.
We've only just got into
November. Maybe we've just got into November. Season goes on till May.
Yeah, but we've played 11 Premier League games. That's a third of the season, and I've not seen a single thing from your star signing.
We said it
or
before.
The other one, by the way, we sat on the bench.
We've said it before. That don't get me started
Alexander
on that.
Isak.
I understand fitness. Just don't put him on the bench. That's the end of. Don't put him in the position to be on the bench so that you get the fans riled up when you've got no intention of using him. That's ridiculous.
Go back to United.
Sorry.
I have got no problem with Sesko. I've got no problem with Cunha, and I haven't seen.
As you shouldn't.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of output from him, so I understand, to a certain degree where you're coming from when you say about Florian Wirtz. The eye test is there. He's doing a lot of things that aren't necessarily goals and assists. But I'm looking at this after the international break. United have played some of the hardest teams. Actually, I've got a list here for you. And this is the reason why I think United should be top of the league currently. Bruno missed a penalty against Fulham. Man United lost 2 points. Bruno missed a penalty against Brentford. Man United lost 3 points. Forest failed to win that game. Should have won that game. Were the better team for a large portion, shipped 2 goals. United lost 2 points. We failed to defend against Spurs, defend that lead. We've lost 2 points. That makes a total of 9 points. With those 9 points, Man United would be top of the league. If
2 secs. I've just seen the table. Ifs and buts, 90 plus 3, you're top of the league.
if we'd have been more clinical against Arsenal, they don't come out of that with a win.
Grandmother
They
had wheels.
scraped that.
You'd have been a bike. Yeah.
They've scraped that. And that's 2 points off Arsenal. And that's an extra point gain from us. Coming into this break, I'd say we're in a better position than Liverpool to win the league.
Vibes are better. You are finding an identity. We still don't know our starting 11. I've got. Listen, I'm a realist. I've got no problem admitting that we're not necessarily in the best place. There's something off at the moment. We've got too many quality players to not turn it around. I won't disagree. Okay, you're never going to win a league this season.
We're
You're
never
not.
going to win the league this season,
No,
but Liverpool still can.
we've got more. We've got more talent all round.
You've got a nice stretch of games coming up. If you don't
Ifs and buts FC.
if you don't turn it around over this stretch of games, you're looking 8th, 9th.
Okay, cool. But why, of you of all people, I wouldn't expect to be going so hard when this is getting published on the internet to damn yourself if it goes the other way. I'm saying we could fall off a cliff. We could go on and
I
go on a
damned
run.
myself at the start of the season. I said United should be pushing for a title. I said
I don't disagree with
Our
that.
transfer window has been the best and therefore should equal us pushing for a title. If we now don't do a title charge from this point, the manager should be sacked. He has got everything in his favour to go and win a title this season. They've broke the bank. They've absolutely spent a fortune on and brought in the players that they wanted, that they needed, and the players that actually make sense for this team that we are pretty sure can replicate what they did last season. If we now don't go and push for a title, the manager has not done his job and I believe should be moved on.
I can't wait for you to clip that up. I can't wait to see the comments on that.
It
I
drives
I
me
actually
mad
don't
that-
necessarily disagree, but
This is what I mean. People come at you for stuff like saying that United should be challenging for a title and laughing at you. But then why are you playing the game? Why is the biggest club in England spending outrageous amounts of money and then expecting, no, you shouldn't be challenging that. You shouldn't be aiming that high. What are you on about?
before we start
It's Man United. I hate saying that because it's overused these days. But if United aren't challenging for a title, kill the club. What's the point?
I do think it lost its value over the last 5-6 years. I do think that we're Man United started to wear a little bit thin because you weren't Man United, simple as. But you're right, and I hate saying it. And I've said to you, I'd love a United Liverpool title race. I'd love it. That back and forth, constant, when City go and
Boring, isn't it?
oh
Nothing to it. Hugs and kisses at the end of
yeah,
the game.
well
Sick
done,
of seeing that.
well done, Man City, great. People forget it. Before we came on, obviously it was chaos in my group chats. We are all saying, and this will make you laugh and wind you up, we're all saying, can't wait to see each other all in Budapest in May, which is the Champions League final.
You go so.
Listen,
You go. So, I mean,
listen.
I'm going to get stick for saying that we should be pushing for a title. You think you're in the Champions League final already?
no. Why? The reason I've told you that is because what's the point?
You're right.
What's
What is
the point if you can't look forward to that and hope and pray that that's where you get? Hopefully we'll do some different bits in a minute rather than us two moaning. But I think that you are absolutely fine to have your opinion. And I actually think I'm absolutely fine. Not fine to have the opinion. Everyone's allowed an opinion. I think we're both justified with what we're saying. I don't necessarily agree that we should be writing Liverpool off right now. If there was a team that I would like to be chasing, Liverpool or United, in a title race, it would be Arsenal. I would not want to be chasing a City
It's
at full.
funny. You aren't writing Liverpool off, but you kind of write Arsenal off. You said to me at the
I
start.
don't write them off.
At the start of the game today, City versus Liverpool. You said the winner of this wins the league.
And
That's writing Arsenal off. Arsenal aren't even the conversation there. You've got two title contenders, and one of them isn't even in there,
I'll go.
and they're top of the league.
That's one thing I'll go early on. Is that I've watched.
Arsenal won't win the league.
Yeah, they haven't got the bottle or the
So you
mentality.
think it's between City and Liverpool?
No, I think as it is right now, I think I don't write us off from being able to win the league.
Who's winning the league this season?
Man City now. They've done it. They've done it time and time again. They've got that freak up front. They're winning games like this. All right, we were poor, but they're winning games like this 3-0. They'll get beat by someone stupid, but Arsenal will drop. They are too. I've said it a million times. They're too emotional. As soon as that going gets good, and people are putting it to them, they are too emotional. The fans, the bullshit of them newspapers in the stand. They are a social media sensation with a football club attached to it. They're not a football club. They steal everyone else's chance because they can't come up with them themselves, and they haven't got a hardcore core of fans. Their away following's embarrassing, the shit that they come out with on a match day. The online fan base is a cancer to them. We've got bad online fans. They are the worst. They're reading newspapers in the stands, getting their mates to take photos of them rather than sitting there watching the game, even if it's after the game. Go and have a beer in the concourse. Get back to your hotel, the town square.
Get down the tunnel. You sound like Jamie Carragher.
But what is it for? What is taking a photo? Let's break it down. What is taking a photo of you reading newspapers, or when they all do that thing in the afterwards and they blur out all their faces? What is it for?
It's all social credit.
It's social media. They don't give a fuck about the football. They don't care for that area of London, for those people. They don't care about winning the league for the city. United do. Liverpool do. Manchester City fans that are diehard do. Arsenal do not care about what that means to Arsenal. They just want to be able to brag on social media. Simple as. They don't care, mate.
There's no Arsenal fan in the room right now, so I'll fight their corner a little bit. They've got the best defence in the world.
Oh, the club are in a brilliant place.
They've got the best goalkeeper in the league. They've got one of the best right wingers in the league. They've got arguably the best midfield in the league and the best squad in the league. To say they haven't got the mentality and they won't win the league, are you saying it's because the fans are going to cost them the league?
Yeah.
Or is it the players?
As good as it will, as much as it could, the fans will cost them the league. Obviously, the players rise above that, and the manager installs his light bulb speaker technology into them and bullshit. Fucking halftime team talks. Okay, on that, why was he doing that? Because cameras on him. See, he wants to be seen as this thing.
I think Mikel Arteta is a fantastic manager. I think he's one of the best managers in the league.
If they win,
I think he deserves to win a title.
I'll tell you what, for all the crap that Liverpool got last season, for only winning it because everyone else was off it, there is an element of that this season. City now, if they go on their run and Arsenal win it from here, I'll give them their credit. I'm not too proud to do that. But you've got teams around them that are dropping points left, right and centre. They should be miles clear if they're that good.
They have won like 6 or something games in a row. I don't know how many without even conceding a goal.
And that's a respect thing. That's a team's going there. Respecting them that they haven't conceded. Just go at them. They flap. Sunderland, brilliant team this season. They went at them. Got physical with them. Stopped as much set pieces they get. They've gone.
You're so animated this week.
Maybe we should lose more often. You might get better content.
I find it funny because Liverpool fans seem to get. I mean, they seem to get more animated when they lose. I think
because it means something.
I think
to
Arsenal
us.
fans are different. Arsenal fans are more animated when they win. Liverpool fans get really animated when they lose. Yeah, because
it affects us. Forget your, and I'm going to get onto this in a minute unless you've got something we need to talk about pressing. This whole support your local stuff. The way I feel right now, I could do things that would get me arrested. I'm that angry. It affects me. My wife's got to deal with me now over the international break with a face like a slapped ass every day. You know, it means something to lose, so I don't like it. These Arsenal fans, it's, oh, that was annoying, and then they go about their week like it's nothing. You know, that Lee Gunner, I think he's all right. I think he speaks a lot of sense sometimes, but he'll like it when they lose. AFTV liked it when they lose because it gives them content.
Yeah.
You know, I know we're sat here. on a podcast hoping that things get clipped up and we go whatever.
I absolutely do not want my team to lose for the sake of content.
No. How much better would it be if we're both winning and we can go at each other every week, and then you drop points, so I get to go at you, and we drop points, so you get to go at us. I don't want us to lose. I don't want the reason for me to be animated on a podcast is because we've lost.
Your point on support the local, the thing that really drives me nuts about the support your local debate. If I'm a United fan, you're a Liverpool fan, neither of us are from the city. How do you think these clubs would compete on the world stage financially if they didn't have fans from different places other than the city? The most vocal about this are Liverpool fans. And you'll experience it because Liverpool fans will turn on their own, complaining about fans from across the world coming to their stadium. I'm sorry, who financed your £150 million striker? Who financed you spending $400 million this summer? You do not achieve that unless you've got fans from all over the world paying TV subscriptions to your club, paying for your shirts, paying to watch your team. If they're not fans, they're not interested. You don't have that revenue. The reason why our league is the best league in the world is because we've got overseas fans. The reason why I think it shouldn't matter, you're a fan from Asia does not matter less than a fan who's been born down the road. I do believe they should have priority on tickets. I do believe that. But his support is exactly the same. If he's waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, how you can't shake your head at that. You're not from Liverpool.
He's not a support. No, but he's not. I would categorise someone who goes week in, week out, home, away, Europe. That is a supporter. If you're waking up at 2 a.m. to watch Liverpool because you're in a different country, you are a fan, right? And the biggest issue that comes, I know loads of Scousers, good lads on TikTok that I speak to that I've met through that community that are genuine Scousers, match-going fans. The issue isn't always with out-of-towners. Yes, they fully believe... I
see so much of it, criticise it. You had a parade and I saw Liverpool lads, local lads, going around saying, he's not from here, he's not from here. What are you doing?
That's stupid. Where the line gets... And it was, because you have to expect that, and they do pump money into the club, right?
You're not from here, you're not from here. Oh, still buy our shirts so we can buy our favourite players from the teams down the road.
There's enough Scousers that want to go to the match in Liverpool that could fill the stadium, and that's fine, right? That I've got that argument. I've said on my TikTok, and I've said to you before. I've said it to everyone.
50,000 people live in Liverpool, at least.
But if
congratulations.
If all of a sudden my tickets went out the way in favour of or a bigger proportion, and I got lost access to tickets because they got a bigger proportion, I wouldn't say anything, because it is their city, their club, right? In terms of having the access to be able to go and all that sort of stuff.
Priority,
fine.
Believe that.
Right.
I'm with you.
The issue comes when, and I see it, and everyone else sees it, there are people that get tickets that aren't there to support Liverpool.
I have been to games myself and seen fans from usually other countries there on their phones recording the game.
That's the issue. And you know what?
I'm with you on that.
It's not always aimed at... Well, it is aimed at those individuals. But there's also a big thing with Liverpool that I think more and more locals are getting onto it, that the club themselves want those people in, because they will go to the club shop because it's an event, a once in a lifetime or once a season, and they will spend 300-400 quid, and they will buy more at half time. Beers.
We're about to see the exact same thing happen to United once this new stadium's built.
And I think there'll be more.
The stadium is being built around the idea of the event. So going to club shops,
because it's a tourist day out.
Yeah.
And that's where the issue comes. I've got no issue with Liverpool fans in Asia waking up. One of our best mates emigrated to Australia, and he gives us the splurge that he has to wake up at this and look at the dedication. That's not dedication. It's not. Paying my 13 pluses are 1,400 quid. That's
not nothing. You give more
nothing
to the club.
Nothing compared to these match goers.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be seen as...
I'm a drop in the ocean. Some of these blokes have been going home, away, Europe, haven't missed a game for 40 years. That's family, that's expenditure, that is their life.
And you can respect that, and I'll respect that. I'll respect that completely. What I don't like is particularly fans turning on themselves, and I see it with Scousers a lot, turning on their own fans.
Well, look at Manx. Look at the Manx.
United will do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've heard United fans do the same.
Well, look at the guy with his hair. The disgrace. No need for it. Where you are going to get it is the biggest clubs with the most in-demand tickets. One of my lads that I've got 3 kids that I took on 6 years ago. One of them chose to support Liverpool because of me. The other one chose to support Wolves. They will not have fans turning on each other at Wolves because it's not hard to get tickets. Yeah, you won't see that at Brighton or Bournemouth. It's because there is a finite amount of tickets. They're extremely sought after. The supply and demand. So that's where the issues come. If you for Real Madrid when we lost 5-2 a couple of seasons ago, I had 2 lads from Asia sat next to me that recorded every Real Madrid attack, but not Liverpool. We were in the lower main stand. By 30th, 40th minute, they were getting pelters saying, get them out. And I get that they've paid their money, but they were not there to support the club. Get them out.
I agree. I think my issue is, because it's a bit of a personal one to me and actually towards you, is nice Scouse accent, mate. You're a Cockney. I'm not a Cockney. Nice Manc accent. Things like that. Support your local. I disagree with it so wholeheartedly.
I do as well.
Because, like I said, your club survives off the interest of it globally.
Well, forget that. Just quickly, they have no idea where and how you've come about to support that team.
They have no idea.
I might not have
where
an accent.
you're from.
Right.
Who do you support? Who can you support?
Yeah. What here?
Who can I support?
There's not a decent
support
team within 50 miles unless we go literally over there and go and support the local 12th tier team, which they will not do.
Is my point exactly. How many of these fans will say support your local, nice accent, who I guarantee do not live outside the stadium? I reckon these people, I could name you 3 or 4 lower league teams or teams really low down in the football pyramid,
which would be local,
between them and the stadium. So you want to say support your local? I'll tell you what, why don't you go down to your Isthmian Division 6 league game 100%. And support your local?
Yeah, 100%. It's where do you draw the line? This was my point when I had loads of ag on it.
People perpetuate this online, actually. And do you know what annoys me? It's something like I've seen the lad off pitch side, Tom Garrett, say about support your local. I understand why you're saying it, because you support West Brom and that is your local. I understand why you're saying it. I'd be interested to see how many people say that, and I'd love to get their location, where they grew up, how many teams are in between them and the Hawthorns, how many teams are between them and the stadium. I don't think it's a positive message to send, particularly in the football world, because be careful what you wish for. If you are a West Brom fan, for instance, and you support them and you're telling other people to support your local, guess what happens when a Saudi investor comes in? You're going to be all over it. If you're back in the Prem, do you want global fans or do you want just the ones who are local?
Do you want a better stadium experience? Do you want better success on the pitch?
Or do you want a better player?
Or do you want to rot in the Championship League One and bounce around there because you've got the pride of supporting your local? Right?
100%.
It's an absolute... the only people, or the main people that say it on our TikToks, on other people's TikToks that I see, have got a blacked out profile picture, no link to their name whatsoever. You have no idea whether they're local to their club, who they support, because it's so easy to sit behind a keyboard, right? You go on a Liverpool away day, rightly or wrongly, there are people from all over the shop. White people, black people, brown people, Birmingham, Liverpool, London, abroad, Ireland, right? They follow that club and spend hundreds of over their life will spend over 100 grand easy following that club. They are supporting them and they're part of a community, and there's well-known lads in there. They might not be liked by everyone, but they're well-known and they are liked by the majority, right? What gives some unknown profile or a Brummie lad that supports a lower league club, which is, by the way, 90% of the people that say this shit, because they've got this weird perverted view of, I support a lower league club, that makes me a better fan.
They put themselves on a high horse because they support a lower league club.
Losers. Why do they get to tell you who you support? Just because they've got a team that's in the lower league that is maybe 10, 15, 20 miles away from where they live. I know Coventry fans from where we're from, 40, 50, 60 miles away.
Yeah.
But they will class themselves as local fans.
And how do you argue with me, for example? My first ever match experience, my dad takes me to Old Trafford, 7 years old, and I walk up into the stand, and on a Champions League night, I hear that anthem, I see our team win. How can you expect me, as a child at that age, not to support Man United? And what's your alternative? That I switch?
Right. Because that would make you an even worse fan. But you just bounce around teams until you find the one that's...
How can you have... You don't know the story. You don't know why I support this club. I have no interest in people who say support your local. As soon as I see someone say support your local, I instantly cannot take your opinion seriously.
On anything to do with football.
I'm out.
I've got... My twins are 10. They started really liking football when they were 5, 6, maybe 6, 7. But they... Parry chose to support Liverpool, I believe, because he spent a lot of time around me. He saw how passionate I was, right? I can tell you right now, at 6 years of age, you are the most impressionable form of your human self. And that lives with you. You get your worst habits when you're young. You get your worst ideas when you're young. You can't unlearn that. I was raised effectively. I've spent a lot of time at my best friend's house when I was younger. His dad was born on Anfield Road. A diehard Scouser. I spend every weekend there watching Gillette Soccer Saturday. How on earth do you expect me, as well as my uncle being a fan who's not from the city, didn't know who my dad was, I've got a whole community of people when I'm 3, 4 years old that have raised me to support Liverpool. I just don't unlearn that. I'm never going to have the passion and the feeling as a Scouser would about Liverpool. I truly believe that. They've got a connection that's different, but I cannot unlearn that and decide that it's different.
Yeah, people should not be saying stuff like support your local and telling people how to feel about their teams that they supported all their life. If you've changed your team over and over again, I understand it, but no, outrageous. We'll wrap the show up on that note. Actually, we'll wrap it up on a fun note. Every week, one of us has to read the closing messages whilst the other one distracts. I didn't make you laugh last week. I am shocked.
You got me.
I got really close.
I'm just professional.
10 pictures to show each other while we read the closing out messages. If we don't get each other, it's passed over. I'm going to read when you're ready. Get them ready. I like to pride myself on being professional.
I don't know if these will get you. There's kind of a theme. I'm a bit disappointed with my selections, but it's hard to make you laugh.
It's not. I'm such an easy... I might fail. If I fail, I have to start again.
I'd have failed.
Guys, for all the best bits, head over to TikTok at Alex Goalpost, and Brandon is at WasLFC. Instagram is at Alex Goalpost, and you'll find me on there as well. Listen to us on the go via Spotify. Alex Goalpost. You'll be able to find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of your podcasts. I got lightheaded. Oh my god. Guys, follow us for all the best bits on TikTok at Alex Goalpost. Brand is... For all the best bits, go to TikTok at Alex Goalpost, and you'll find it. On to TikTok to find me at Alex Goalpost. You'll find Brandon for the best bits at WasLFC. Please go to Instagram at Alex Goalpost. Go to TikTok at Alex Goalpost. You'll find him at WasLFC, Instagram Alex Goalpost, and Spotify at Alex Goalpost. You can find us on all streaming platforms for the audio to listen to us on the go. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. If you haven't liked the video, we really appreciate it. And it's gone back to the old one.
No.
We really appreciate it. Put a comment down below and make sure you tune in to us every Monday and Wednesday for the rest of the season. Thanks, Bran.
Oh, God. You should have gone back to the start 50 times.
I think I did.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Really appreciate it.
Subscribe, like, comment,
share. Laugh.
Laugh.
Live.
Live. Lost.
Oh.